Hi, my name is Rhonda from Comprehensive Grants Management, and today I'm going to be discussing the requirements relating to the obligation and the expenditure of the HUD Capital Fund grants in a timely manner. And then we're going to relate it to the Emergency Safety and Security Grant. So, what is an obligation? Generally, an obligation is a binding agreement executed by all parties for work or financing that will result in outlays of capital funds by the Public Housing Authority immediately or in the future. The date of the contract signing is the obligation date. If the parties sign the contract at different times, the date of the last signature is the obligation date. In some instances, a purchase order would constitute an obligation, for example, large items such as stoves or refrigerators. All obligations should reflect work items detailed in the approved 5-year action plan. Certain costs have different definitions of obligation based on the nature of the cost. Generally, the statute requires that at least 90% of a capital fund grant be obligated within 2 years of the date that the funds are made available. The date the funds are made available is established as the obligation start date in the line of credit control systems, which is LOCS, and 2 years from the obligation start date is the obligation end date, OED. The obligation requirement is stated in Section 905.306A of the Capital Fund Final Rule. However, the required time frame for obligation may differ depending upon the type of capital fund grant. So let's look at the Emergency Safety and Security Grant. Here, public housing authorities have 12 months from the obligation start date established in LOCS to obligate a minimum of 90% of the authorized amount of the Emergency Safety and Security Grants and 2 years to expend those funds. If the Public Housing Authority receives funding in excess of the costs incurred to address the safety and security emergency, the Public Housing Authority must notify HUD and return the excess funds. In the next video, I will discuss how public housing authorities may request an extension of the obligation end date for reasons identified in statutes and regulations. So to learn more about the Emergency Safety and Security Grant, please visit our website at www.comprehensivegrants.com. That's with an S, www.comprehensivegrants.com. Thank you for your time and continued success in serving your communities.